maybe one or two. If time permits, we'll do 3. So once again, good evening, guys, and welcome to our third lecture of our bootcamp. This is our third lecture in the third week of our bootcamp. Of course, this week we talked about decentralized finance. Decentralized applications. Decentralized finance is actually after the break, of course, the last week of the bootcamp. So this week we talked about decentralized applications, that these are actually softwares that actually run on the blockchain. They actually perform certain tasks to achieve certain goals. So we've also been talking about it even yesterday on our Twitter space, Ethereum Nigeria on Twitter. On our Twitter space yesterday, we talked deeply about decentralized applications. So today we are just going to look at one or two of them. Of course, the first one, let me share my screen just a minute. So, okay, I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, of course, the first one we're going to talk about actually is Uniswap. Why Uniswap? Uniswap is a utility platform because in the space, you belong to communities, you work on different projects, and you have so many tokens in your wallet. So Uniswap is this platform that actually helps you swap any ERC token for another. So to actually use the app, the decentralized app, you go to uniswap.org, of course. So this is uniswap.org. It's the platform that actually allows you to, of course, swap different tokens. So they have a lot of information here. You can see the total trade volume they've had on the platform is over $489 billion. So to tell you that people actually utilize this platform on a daily basis, right? So they have other information. You can check that out. But for the purpose of this class, we're actually going to just interact with this, right? Try to swap our ERC20 token for another ERC20 token. So to do that, you just have to come to the launch app. So, but normally, Uniswap have also undergone different upgrades. So actually, right now, what they are having is the version 3 of Uniswap. So normally in the version 2, you can interact with the testnet and the mainnet from the same address boards. In the version 3, they kind of changed that. So when you launch the app, you actually have to change, or you can just change the URL here to, instead of app.uniswap, right? Change it to staging.uniswap.org, right? So the staging.uniswap enables you to interact with the test nets. Remember, we have test tokens, so we actually have to interact with the test net. And the test net, of course, is exactly the same thing as the main net. So anything you are doing on the test net, you can actually do exactly the same thing, the same process on the main net. So yeah, this is the staging area. I hope you guys can see my screen here. Someone confirmed that. So this is the staging, this is the Uniswap interface, right? You have to connect your wallet, input the token you want to swap, select the token you want to swap it for. And of course, you wait for the blockchain to confirm that then everything it's voila. So let's just first connect our wallet, MetaMask, yep. Remember, I think in our smart contract, in smart contract class, we actually created a wallet. Yeah, so I've connected before, but normally, if you've not connected your wallet before, it will actually prompt you. Okay, let's try and disconnect it just for the sake of everyone. Let's disconnect the wallet, right? Okay. So disconnected the wallet and we'll refresh our page. We don't connect. Let's connect it back. All right. So if you check our wallet asset, of course, that's what I was trying to do. Let's check our wallet assets first. The assets we actually have on our wallet. So you see that we only have the Gioli test Ether. That's the only token we have. That's the only ERC token we have. And of course, you can go back to our lecture, I think on smart contract, where we actually interacted with on smart contract, the third week of week 2. In case you didn't attend that class, the video is also on YouTube. The third lecture in week 2, that's where we talked about how to get test facet and how to interact, of course. So you can watch the video and get your test facet. So we've connected our wallet and we want to swap our Ether for, let's look for a stable coin, right? Okay, some DAI. So that is actually a stable coin also. When I say stable coin, I mean that they are pegged to the dollar. So one DAI is actually $1, right? There's no volatility in it. It doesn't go up, it doesn't come down. It's always pegged to the dollar. So we have 0.4 Goali Ether. I think that's a lot. So let's say we want to swap 0.5. Let's see how many. 120 is too much. Let's see. Okay. So we want to actually swap 0.0005 Ether. And of course, you can already see on the platform, on the protocol, they are showing out the amount of DAI that we are going to get if we do this swap. So let's just swap. It's as easy as this. Remember, this is a no coding tool. For developers, of course, we can interact we can actually do all of this from the back end using Solidity and, of course, I think JavaScript also. But this is a no coding tool, which, of course, it's easy and user friendly. So we just swap and it's going to ask us to confirm also normally. So we just confirm the transaction. Let's add the DAI wallet to our MetaMask, right? So that we can actually see that we have this token, right? So we just have to add. Yeah, you can see my balance is 0, right? Even after the swap. That's because the transaction was not confirmed. Remember, it's the blockchain. It has to be confirmed and validated. So after this, of course, if you go back to check my wallet, yeah, so if you check my wallet, you can actually see the DAI. So it's as simple as that. You just go to the platform. Based on the token you have, you want to swap it for another token, and of course, it's as easy as that. So Uniswap actually helps. It's a decentralized exchange where you can actually swap any ERC token. Of course, they have a list of tokens so that it's a blockchain, right? So there have to be some checks and balances. So they actually have what they call the pool. The pool contains all the tokens that you can actually swap, and there are a lot of them. So that's just that for the Uniswap protocol. It's a decentralized exchange. Of course, the core of it is a smart contract, right? So in the smart contract, you are sending the Ethereum to the smart contract. The smart contract is taking the Ethereum, and of course, it has its liquidity pool. It checks the amount or the worth of it in whatsoever token you are asking for. And then it gets the token from the liquidity pool and sends it to your wallet address. So that's that for Uniswap. You can swap as many tokens as you want. The next one, of course, we'll look at Aave. Remember Aave, when we're talking about decentralized applications, we mentioned that Aave is actually a protocol that allows for lending and borrowing. So on Aave, if you have a particular asset, you can lend it, like provide it as a liquidity to the platform, and you make funds from it, like you get interest on it, or you can actually go there to actually borrow cryptocurrency. But of course, you have to pay back, right? So let's look at, okay, Precious, your hand is up. Please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So my question now is, if we have those testnet coins, those testnet tokens we created, can we like test try it out using this Uniswap and like we'll get the results? Because I'm thinking it's only real tokens that have value. So I don't know if it's possible that if we try it out like with our testnet tokens, the one we created in our last hands-on class, it will also give us these results.
Okay. Actually, the token you created in the last class, of course, it's a valid token on the blockchain, but the tokenomics, like I mentioned, the economics of the token, the tokenomics behind that token is what will determine if it's a valued asset. So if you look at other tokens, like the ones you can see on exchanges, the ones you can swap for fiat, they actually have what they call communities. Each of these tokens have communities. They have people that came together. They came together for a particular idea or with a particular idea. And with this idea, they built a community and they used the token as a means of either transaction or proof of membership or all of that. So the tokenomics behind every token determines the value of that token. So if you want to understand more, you can go to our Medium page at Ethereum Nigeria. There is a rich article there about tokenomics. So you can learn about the token, the economics of tokens on the blockchain. So the one we created actually wouldn't be swapped because it is not listed on Uniswap, right? So Uniswap has to recognize your token, your community, before they can list it. And once it is listed on their platform, of course, you can always swap it. So I hope I answered your question. So just go ahead.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I said we'll be looking at Aave, right? So let's just get a new tab. Just like Uniswap, of course, let's just go direct. Let's go to staging.aave.com. But if you actually wanted to visit, okay, while this is loading, the Aave website is aave.com, right? So it's basically the same thing, right? So this aave.com, of course, this their protocol. You can go here, you see information about them, everything. So right now you can see how much the smart contract, the Aave protocol is holding, right? This is about, I think, 9 billion plus, and it's counting every second, right? And you can always see the blockchain. So this information they are showing us, you can always verify it. How? The Aave protocol, of course, the Aave token has, is a smart contract and it has an address. So the address is public. You can always get the address and go and verify it on any blockchain explorer. So this is just the protocol. They have a lot of, these are the blockchains, the support, of course, Ethereum, Avalanche, a lot of them. So you can always go here and get more information on that. I'm seeing a lot of messages coming up. I'm trying not to look at them. If you have a question, just raise your hand. I'll ask you. So, okay. All right. So, but for the sake of this class, like I mentioned, we are using staging.aave.com. And of course, just like Uniswap, you have to first and foremost connect your wallet. So let's connect our wallet and first and foremost try to supply liquidity to Aave. And before the end of the class, let's see if what we give to Aave will actually yield any fruit. And of course, we also try to borrow from them. Okay, so connect wallet. think my network is, I'll just close this. Okay, let's look at these questions. Does this token mean can you swap testnet facet for stable coins? Of course, you can swap testnet facet tokens for testnet facet token coins. You can't swap it for token coins on the mainnet. Does the token mean that this is basically making your own money? Yes, if you have the right community, and of course, you guys need to work hard also. You have the right community with the right economics. Of course, you can start making your own money. That's how a lot of people are making money on the blockchain anyway. So staging.aave.com and not. No, aave.com is actually the site. If that's the main net site, if you want to interact with the main net, just like Uniswap, uniswap.org. But if you are interacting with the testnet, in this case, that's what you are doing. So we actually are using the staging.aave, and of course, staging.uniswap. No, okay. This doesn't cause connect wallet. Um, there are always many ways to solve this kind of problem. It's already connected. Okay, I think my network has improved. I just had to change my router direction. Okay, so basically this is the Aave protocol on the staging, of course. So remember with the Aave protocol, what happens is, let's just go to the dash. What happens is you can actually supply liquidity, like you can make money from it, or you can borrow from it. So actually, before we continue, first we need to get a test. Let's get a test facet from Aave. Of course, they also give us facets to use. So we'll get a test facet from them, and then we're going to then use that test facet to supply liquidity, like to lend money, so that anybody borrowing from what we are supplying, we actually make some profit out of it. So first and foremost, let's get the facets. There are lots of facets we can work with. There are lots and lots of them. So for this class, let's try to get USDT because there's stable coin, right? So we know that a lot of transactions will be done in USDT. Okay, Aves only supports Sapioli. All right, so if you get that message, it just means you have to go to your MetaMask and change your network from Gioli to Sapoli, right? So we'll just change it to Sapoli. Yeah, so okay, our DAI token is gone, right? So the testnet for Aave supports only the Sapoli networks, Sapolia network. So that's why I had to change it. So if you run into that same issue, just change your network to Sapio. So like I mentioned, well, let's get let's get Link, right? Chainlink, because Chainlink also has a lot of utility. So they are going to give me how, if you're also doing this at the same time, they are going to give us 1,000 Link, right? So we'll take the offer. Of course, it's a blockchain, so we always have to confirm from our MetaMask. So that's the power of the blockchain. So anybody that wants to do a transaction from your wallet address must always have access to signing that transaction. That means the person must have your private key. So that's why your private key is very important also. So while we wait for our transaction to be confirmed on the blockchain, like I said, having the protocol that allows for the lending and borrowing of crypto assets, right? So I think that's done. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, so I need to add the Chainlink wallet in case also you are doing this and you don't see this. Remember, in when we're doing yeah, of course, when we're minting our token in the smart contract week, we always had a way of importing tokens. So in case you try to check and you don't see it, you just have to come back to Chainlink, of course, and get the token address for Chainlink. In this case, this guy, right? So you just get the Chainlink. I'm going to open the Explorer, of course. So this is the address here. So copy that back to our MetaMask and we import the token by just pasting that address. And of course, every other thing fills up automatically because the address is valid. So if you paste an invalid address, you probably get one or two errors. So we add that. And of course, you can see my balance already here. All right. So now we have link, right? So we go back to the Aave protocol and this time we want to supply, remember I want to supply liquidity to it. We want to take our link and put it on the platform so that anybody that borrows link from this platform, we get a percentage out of it. So of course we have Ethereum and we have link, right? So we want to supply link. So let's supply 500 link, right? So it's 500. So we'll check at the end of the class how many link we've been able to accumulate in that amount of time. But first, we need to approve. Of course, you have to approve. Then once you approve, then you can then supply the link, right? So we sign the transaction, the agreement, if you might put it that way. Then we supply our link, of course. So normally still is the blockchain, so we have to wait for our transaction to, of course, be confirmed. And this is when we're talking about the user experience on the blockchain and what layer two solutions and other side chains are trying to do to improve transaction time and of course gas fees, right? So basically this is some of the problem, right? So on a normal website, you click, it goes. So but on the blockchain, you actually have to wait for all these transactions to be confirmed. So that's one of the challenges, but of course there are solutions coming up with faster time and lower gas fees. So back to what we're saying, of course, you can now see that we've supplied 500 DAI here. Of course, this is the equivalent $15,000. So that's the real world value. So we've supplied 500 DAI and our annual profit, yearly, our profit is at 220.33%. So basically, we just, for now, let's leave it. We will look at another protocol, and at the end of that protocol, let's come back and see if we've been able to make any money on Aave. Besides, of course, lending tokens, You can also borrow tokens from Aave, right? So see this supply. So if you come to borrow, you can also borrow tokens from Aave, right? So you can borrow any of, for instance, let's try to borrow USDT. Let's borrow USDT, and of course we have to pay back. So we'll borrow something very small, even if it's on the test, right? So you can see this health factor here. It's trying to tell you that, okay, you have enough asset in terms of the average facet you collected. We have enough asset to cover for this. So it's healthy, meaning they are not afraid that we'll run away with their money because, of course, they're keeping a bigger portion of our money. So let's try to get this up. All right, so let's borrow USDT. Okay, so also with is the blockchain user experience I talked about few minutes ago. But all of this stuff are being worked upon. Before it was way slower. Like you have to actually wait for a longer time. But as the years keep going, of course, we can have transactions in seconds, maybe 15, 20, 30 seconds, minutes. But sometimes if the blockchain, the network is pretty busy and your transaction probably has a low gas fee, your transaction might have to wait a while, right? So, but that's just that. So I needed to add that to my wallet. So I have we borrowed. So in the borrowed here, we borrowed 50 USDT, and I just needed to add that to my wallet. So let's just add USDT to the wallet. I think we can do that directly. Yeah, let's just add USDT to our wallet so that we can see, right? So you see the balance here is already 50 USDT. So we add the token so that if we then go, of course, to our MetaMask, yeah, we can actually see this is our token here, it's loading. So we have our 500 link, we still have our 50 USDT, right? So yeah, so that's basically the Aave protocol. You can supply your assets and make some interest on it, or you can actually go there to borrow. But the tricky thing with Aave, of course, in the mainnet is that you have to have a certain amount of asset to be able to borrow a certain amount of. Basically, you have to have more than what you want to borrow. Like for instance, let's say you are supplying, like in this case, you are supplying 500 link, and we have an extra 500 links because we had 1,000 link, right? So we gave out 500 to the Aave protocol, so the other 500 is in our wallet. So the 500 that is in the Aave protocol, if we try to borrow anything above the value of that 500 link, which was about, I think, $15,000. So we're able to borrow $50. But if we try to borrow like $16,000, it will not be possible, right? If there's a particular amount, like if you have like, if you want to borrow $100, you need to have like above $100 to be able to borrow $100. But that's just it, meaning that you can take your assets, put it on the protocol as we can supply it as the protocol, make money from it, and then also borrow money from the protocol to do something else, which of course you pay back. So let's look at the last protocol because of time. I think, okay, we've already 10 past it. So we'll look at OpenSea. Of course, a lot of us have heard of OpenSea. Let's just go to the testnet, right? Yeah, exactly. So a lot of us have heard of OpenSea. So OpenSea basically is a protocol is a marketplace for NFTs, non-fungible tokens, right? You can create NFTs on OpenSea. You can sell NFTs. You can also buy NFTs and can see some of the trending NFTs, right? So like all of this, they represent, of course, different communities with their different ideologies. So yeah, so basically that's what OpenSea does. You can go there, you can sell your NFT, you can buy NFT, and you can also create your NFT. So for the purpose of this class, of course, we'll create an NFT and we'll try to sell it. Let's see how it works, right? So it's pretty easy. First, you just have to log in. By logging, of course, you have to connect your wallet because the blockchain, so they don't really need to get your personal information. That's the privacy we talked about. On the blockchain, nobody wants to know your information. They're dealing with your wallet. As long as you have the private key to your wallet, they believe that, of course, the transaction is authentic, right? So, yeah. So we'll just create our own token, right? So you can see this token is like 55 Ethereum, 24 Ethereum, but all of this is on the testnet, right? So let's just create our own NFT and yeah, just like we did on Third Web, it's pretty easy to use. It's a no coding platform, so it's pretty easy to use. So we'll just yeah, let's do this first one. Let's drop an NFT, right? So we're going to create an NFT on the class, and then at the end of the class, you are going to connect, you guys, you are going to connect your wallet and you are going to buy our NFT. So let's do that, right? But remember, it has to be on the Sepulia testnet, I think. I don't even know which one is support, but I think it supports Sepulia also. So it's pretty easy and straightforward. We need an image. Okay, I have the perfect image for this. Yeah, so we'll use our image and of course our NFT. So, okay, let's call it this. Of course, they've suggested a nice symbol here for us. I'm going to leave it like that. So we are going to, all right, so guys, look at it. It's pretty easy and straightforward. Aave supports both Sepolia and Gioli testnets. Uniswap supports only Gioli testnets. And of course, we are seeing now that OpenSea supports Gioli test. Now, of course, you can use Polygon Mumbai, is another blockchain layer 2 built on top of Ethereum. So we have to change our wallet from Sepolia to Gioli, right? So you have to change this back to Gioli. So, all right, Gioli, yeah, all right, fine. So, yeah, I think that's as easy as that. Then, yeah, we'll continue. All right, so we have to wait a little bit for our NFT to our transaction to be mined on the blockchain. And of course, after it's mined, yeah, we have a confirmation. That's fine. That's cool. So we have to wait a little bit longer. So basically, like I mentioned, NFT, OpenSea, it's a marketplace for trading NFTs, especially your NFT, of course, there are some NFTs that are not transferable, meaning you can only mint it to one wallet address and you cannot send it to another one. But every other NFT that is transferable, of course, you can actually sell it, you can list it on OpenSea so that others can buy from you. And of course, you can also search for NFTs to buy. The NFTs could represent anything, right? It could be maybe, yeah. So, of course, we're going to describe it or fine tune it to be a membership, right? So that to be eligible, to, let's say, for instance, right? So our NFT is ready, right? But what I was saying that for this NFT, what we are going to do, we are going to make it like a membership kind of NFT, right? So our ideology behind it is that if you hold this NFT in your wallet, that means you are a member of Ethereum Nigeria Bootcamp 2023. So let's do it that way, right? So we'll go to our collector editor, of course, so that we can set some parameters for others to be able to mint our NFT. So like I mentioned, our description, we're going to say proof of membership, right? Proof of membership. Yeah. So yeah, like we mentioned, of course, and I'll just copy this address and paste it in the chat box. Okay, don't copy it. So I can go back here. Wow, okay. So basically, that's the address that you have to go to be able to mint this NFT. So I'll get that in a minute. Let's just set some other parameters. So for our category, like I mentioned, of course, domain names, that's ENS we talked about, gaming, music, PFS, and the rest, but there are a lot of them, but we'll just choose membership, right? Because we want it to be a proof of membership, right? So it's on the Geoli testnet. And of course, we can get, okay, the tokens we are accepting for this NFT is, let's leave it at Ethereum and wrapped Ethereum. No future images and all of that. Okay. So basically, this is it. Yeah. I think I should just, yeah. So we'll save it. Hmm? All right. So after that, we have to now set how we want to earn from it, right? So we need to make some money from it, right? So let's set up the airdrop. Say the airdrop, the drop. So it's public. Yeah, I want it to be public, and each person can only mint one NFT. When do we want it to start? It's going to start today, but let's say F2024, so that before it mints, of course, we can be able to do that. We don't want any pre-sales. Let's set the price. So um, public stage. Let's change this to, yeah, let's leave it like that. So how much should, just on the chat box, so let's just give it a value, right? So we're going to give it a very low value so that everybody can afford it. So we are setting the price actually. Here you can set any price you want, right? So you can, and it's paid in Ether. So you can set any value you want. So, but to make it cheap so that everybody can afford it, we are going to make it relatively cheap. And we want our mint to last for, let's say, 3 days, right? Just 3 days. What this means is that after the third day, this is our terms and conditions we are imputing into this NFTs like a smart contract, right? So we are saying that after 3 days, no more minting of this NFT. It will stop, right? So let's leave it at that. And yeah. So all I have to do now is to publish it. And of course, it will ask for my MetaMask and all of that. Confirm the transaction. just wait for the platform to publish our NFT. Then from 24 minutes past 8, 8:24 this night, of course, you can visit that URL. I'll drop it very soon. You can visit the URL and you can mint yourself one Ethereum Nigeria Bootcamp NFT. Of course, it's on the testnet and it's on Gioli. So you have to connect your Gioli network. So yeah, our transaction has been confirmed. So we can now view our drop. Automatically, we've just created an NFT on OpenSea and we've listed it. You see it's counting. One day, 2 minutes, and yeah. So I think it's going to start minting tomorrow. It's supposed to be today. Yep. Yeah, today. So it's going to start minting from 8:24. No, it's tomorrow actually, 23. Yeah, that was my bad. But it's immutable, right? So basically anything on the blockchain, once you've deployed it, you can't change it, right? So that means our minting starts tomorrow by 8:25. And it's going to last for 3 days, of course. But basically, that's just how, but this is it. So on the OpenSea, of course, you can view our token here. See, it's counting down our timer here to let us know that, of course, the minting hasn't really started for it because we set a lock time for it. We can't change it. It's immutable, right? So we can't change that. But that's just basically how it works. Of course, I'll share the link with us. Then we can always go to the link. Of course, you see the countdown, and when the countdown period has elapsed, which is tomorrow by this time, you can actually connect your wallet and mint your NFT to your wallet address. And also, you can create your own, right? So that's the good thing. You can always create your own NFT. Create your own NFT, get the URL, share it among your friends, ask them to mint your NFT to their wallet addresses, of course. It costs Ether to mint it, right? So you can set any price, of course, you want for it. So that's the good thing about the blockchain. You can make a lot of money from it, right? But you also need to have a lot of knowledge about it. So before I go, I'm seeing a lot of messages. I'll look into that. I just want us to go back and look at, let's look at our Aave protocol. Remember, we put in $500 there. I know it's a very short period of time, but let's see what's happening to our $500. 500 link, rather, not dollar. Let's see. So you can see that just for this few amount of time that we've been talking, of course, we have an increase in our 500 link. Remember, we supplied 500 link. So that means our link is actually generating profit for us. So even in the real world, of course, in the mainnet, it's just basically how it works. You get some link, supply it, and then you get returns on it. So you will leave this for like an hour, maybe a day or two. Of course, you see that your link will actually generate more value for you. So you can always try this, of course. I encourage us to play around with it, do a lot of stuff with it, try other coins and all of that. So that's basically decentralized applications. We've been able to look into 3 of them. There are numerous, there are many of them, of course. We've been able to swap tokens on Uniswap, and we've been able to supply and make a little profit on Aave. We also borrowed money from Aave. Then also we've created our NFT and we've set our minting time. And of course, that's on OpenSea. We created our NFT and we listed it for sale. So we can always generate returns from that also. So thank you. And I think that's the end of my class for now. I'll take some questions. But if you have a question, please kindly raise your hand. Then I'm seeing so many messages on the chat. Okay, Dean, your hand is up. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ete. Your lecture has been. Sorry, is it Ete or Etete or something?
It's Etete actually, but it's fine. Just ask your question.
Okay. So thank you so much for a very, rich session tonight, Mr. Etete. The question I want to ask is that because for me, I'm very curious and this is getting very, very interesting because there are so many real life use cases I can deploy this thing to like hit the ground running. Now, concerning a cooperative society that I am a member, this very membership NFT tax is something I can deploy and see how members can get the NFT. So the question now is, just like in deploying tokens, you have a maximum mint or tokenized supply. Does that apply here in the NFTs too?
Well, is that all your question? Or you have another one? Okay, so well, first and foremost, yeah, like I always say, yeah, it depends on the logic. So in this scenario, right? So let's say for this cooperative group, you know that you always have members that will always come in. Like you always have new members, and sometimes you may have members that leave, right? So if the member leaves, what happens to that NFT, right? So the member will always have access, right? So it depends on the logic, right? So basically, for the cooperative society, yeah, you get an NFT that would consider many options. Like I mentioned, of course, you won't have a total supply because you'll be expecting new members, right? And you cannot
Yes.
tell the next how many years, how many members you'll be able to have. And remember, it's immutable. So once it's on the blockchain, you cannot go and increase the number of members. So I think in this scenario, the best thing is to leave it open, like you don't have a fixed total supply, like how many, like a collection, how many NFTs you are doing. You can just leave it open, then set your logic like we just did, that each person, each wallet address can act only mint one NFT, right? So this NFT would be a proof of membership. So, but you have to have other backup you have to have other backup solutions to what happens when a member leaves for whatever reason, right? So probably in the smart contract, there will be a need for maybe multiple people like the exco to be a signatory to some terms and agreement. Like if a member leaves under so condition, maybe 6 or 7 people can, you need the signature, the wallet address, the signature from 6 or 7 wallet addresses, right? So these people can act as the exco. So if they approve that, okay, this person is gone, then they can burn that NFT. Of course, you need to have a logic for burning NFT. And in Web3, when you say burn NFT, you're actually destroying the NFT. Like the same way you minted, you created the NFT to that wallet, then you call the burn function on that particular smart contract. That NFT, of course, will have a particular ID. So if you get the ID and the contract address, of course, with the signatories of the exco, you can actually either revoke this particular address, the NFT minted to that address, or you can burn it.
Thank you so much.
Sorry,
Yes,
I hope I answered.
yes, you've done justice. Thank you so much.
All right, all right. Your hand is still up. That's why I asked. So, okay. So, are we taking any other question? If you have a question, okay, Bona, please go ahead.
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So my question is concerning this activity that we are doing. So is it can we, or should I say, to start up something like this, like how much do one need in naira? Because I'm seeing dollar, I'm seeing, so how much does one need in naira, let's say, to start up all these kind of things, put your get link, supply it, things like that. So I want to know.
Basically, that the blockchain, most tokens are volatile, right? So you first of all need to know which token do you want to invest in. All these protocols, you first do your research. There are a lot of traders, people that trade cryptocurrencies, right? So what do they mostly trade? So those are the coins they need. Those are the tokens they are likely to borrow from platforms. Of course, those are the tokens they are also likely to swap. So you first of all do your research. Um, which tokens do people trade the most, right? So depending on how much you have, and of course, the protocols, they will always have a minimum amount. If you go to their platform, you read them, check their documentation, you see that they have a minimum amount that is needed. It's different for different protocols. It's not fixed. So you do your research, check, then for the coin you want to maybe supply to the token, you can buy the coin from a centralized exchange like Binance. Then you move the coin to your MetaMask wallet, interact with the website from your MetaMask wallet, supply the coin, and just watch it grow. Like as we're talking, if you're seeing my screen, of course, our $500 just added another 0.01. It's now 3. So if this was like the main net, of course, this is the amount you are getting for these seconds that are passing. So like we always say, many people are intrigued by how easy it is to make money on the blockchain, but then you have to be well informed because you can make so much money from it and you can lose so much in a second. So you need to be well informed, do your due research before connecting your wallet, especially your mainnet wallet. Before connecting your wallet to any protocol, do your research about that protocol, right? So there's no fixed amount. It's just based on what you have to invest in them and what is their minimum value. So that's just it. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I think I'll just stop sharing my screen so that I can look at some of the messages in the chat. All right, but if you have a question, please go ahead, raise your hand, and you'll be called upon, of course. Attendance. Okay, yeah, the attendance is, let me just drop the attendance. Um, okay, so everybody's asking for attendance. All right, let me get the attendance for you guys. But so far, I hope everybody's clear on what we just did today, right? Nobody's confused. And of course, I encourage us to try it out. Remember, you can always find the video on our YouTube channel. Do well also to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Ethereum Nigeria. Guys, welcome to our third lecture. Okay, so you guys can always subscribe to our YouTube channel, of course. Yeah. Oh, all right. So let's engage the develop. Okay. All right. All right. So also, guys, of course, we have a virtual workshop tomorrow. It's going to be very, 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 very engaging. Of course, on the group, on the Telegram group, I know you guys have seen some of them. So we'll do well to also share the link. You can join tomorrow from 12 p.m. We have a very special speaker with the graph. He's going to teach us real hands-on. It's a workshop, so everything is going to be hands-on. So we're going to learn a lot of stuff from him tomorrow. Time, of course, is from 12 p.m. We're going to be looking at interacting with the graph and, of course, looking at some other stuff that we can do with the graph. It's going to be a workshop, like I mentioned, so that means it's a hands-on section. So We're going to share the link for that on the group, and probably before the end of this call, I'll try to get the link and share it with us. So, but here's the attendance. Yeah. So that's the attendance. And um, and also, that reminds me, before at the start of the meeting, I was asking if anybody was available for the Twitter space yesterday. For the rest that joined the call, if you're available for the Twitter space, can you just raise your hand? Let's see. Let's signify. Okay, Amy. Yeah, Amy, thank you very much. So you guys have been asking me questions since I'm going to ask you questions, Amy. So tell us, two hands, Tolu. Okay. So I'll go with you, Amy, first. So tell us about your experience on the Twitter space yesterday. Amy, please go ahead. Unmute yourself and tell us about your experience.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
Good evening. Okay, yes, when I joined the space yesterday, I can't remember his name, but there's this particular person that was teaching, and though I got robbed, yes, actually, I did not really get a chance to get everything. I got robbed. I tried joining back, but I couldn't. So that was what happened.
Oh, you say you got wrong. That's too bad. So sorry for that.
I got robbed, but I know there's a recording, so I'll probably listen to it later.
Okay, sure. That's fine.
Thank you.
So sorry about your audio. It's not a good thing. Tolu, your hand was also up. You want to share with us your experience
Yeah,
on this?
thank you. No, what I have is a question concerning tomorrow. I just want to know the workshop you said we are going to be having. Are we going to be having via Zoom or on Telegram?
It's going to be virtual. It's going to be Zoom. We'll share the link, of course. Maybe we'll just email the link also. Or we'll share the link on our Telegram group. Of course, you can go there and you can go through the link to attend the workshop tomorrow. It's going to be full packed, strictly hands-on from beginning to end. So we'll learn new things from an industry expert. So once again,
Thank you very much.
yeah, welcome. So sorry, Amy, for your audio. So the last link I shared with the OpenSea link I shared is actually where you would go to mint your NFT. You can only mint one NFT, right? So just copy the link. Tomorrow, remember, I have a countdown time. So it's going to be live tomorrow by 8:24, yeah? So that's the time we set. And we also set the price for it. So you should have some particular goalie testnet to be able to mint that NFT. And of course, once you mint it to your wallet, remember you can always import the NFT to your wallet by going to the contract address, of course, of the NFT, which once you mint it, you would see the contract address because the contract address that is minting the NFT to you. So if you go to your Explorer, you see if you open the transaction or even copy your wallet address after minting, go to an Explorer, your latest transaction, of course, would be that transaction. So the contract address of the NFT will be there. So you just copy it and import the NFT into your MetaMask wallet and you'll be able to see it there. So nobody's asking me any questions. All right, that's fine. So guys, in the absence of any question, there is question. Mr. Shem, please go ahead. Mr. Shem, you said there is question. Please go ahead. You read about ERC 4337 arbitration. Yeah, if it is already functional. Well, first and foremost, ERC 733, it's not quite popular. I need to look into it also. But basically, if I don't know where you read that. Yeah, I mean, this is our last class for the year, but of course, we are going to continue after our holiday period. Of course, we'll continue and conclude the bootcamp. And also, there are a lot of activities and events for 2024 and the community. So it's not just about joining the bootcamp. Of course, we're inviting you all to be members of the community, of course, also. Material read. Of course, arbitration, I'm trying not to talk about it in this class because it's kind of like a bit complex and I don't want us to get confused, right? So, Mr. Shen, of course, you can hit me up on Telegram. If you already have an idea of that, since you're asking the question, so I can straighten out whatsoever your curiosity is. I think that topic it's mainly for our developer friends. And remember, most of our participants actually are no code, so just on Telegram we'll discuss that. So in the absence of any other question, guys, it's been a great time having us for these past 3 weeks. And of course, we are going to our holidays. And while we are enjoying, of course, please always remember to check your emails. Remember, our emails are our primary channel of communication. And also, while on your holiday, if you are looking at any of the protocols or trying to interact with what we've done so far, and you have challenges, of course, you can always reach out to me or any of our mentors on Telegram. Of course, we are there to answer and guide you. So thank you very much, guys. It's been a great time and do have a wonderful evening, everyone. Bye.